Truly one of my favorite people. Talented man. What do you want? Was that really necessary? Sorry, say that again.
Big Love, like one of the most amazing characters ever created. What do you think about the ending of Crowley? Like, why?
I had stuff to do. I went on tour.
Really?
Yeah, look, it's a weird thing. The reasons for me going have nothing to do, I don't think have anything to do with me personally. But in order to sustain a series for 15 years, you have to have, especially with your show leader, with your showrunner, the boss, whoever is running the show at the time, he has to have an idea of where the story is going. And in that story, I don't think I figured into that issue. And I was very clear, I said, I won't come back. If you take me off the poster, I'm done. Which made it, you know, a bit of an ultimatum. But the truth is that it was an interesting thing. And what actually happened, I don't know if I've discussed this before, don't think I have, is that they wrote in episode 21, 1221, I get stabbed by Lucifer. And Pellegrino and I have been friends for many, many years before Supernatural. And he's like, aren't you supposed to like spark out or something? And I'm like, mm-hmm. So I turn into a rat, which is something I did before, so it's nothing original. And I'm like, well, wouldn't Lucifer know that you're not dead the instant you turn into a rat? It's like, uh-huh. So he's like, now it hasn't gone to be on television yet. We've still just made it. But it's not going to be on TV for a few months. And I'm like, this is not the smartest way to go. And then the end episode comes. I'm not in 22, I don't think, but whatever it is, I'm in 23. And 23 wrote this whole script, Andrew wrote this whole script about, I don't know, just Fergus crap. And I'm not Fergus. Fergus is a 4'6" Scottish crofter. There's none of Fergus in me. There's a lot of Crowley and not a lot of Fergus. Fergus sold his soul to be me, if you follow the logic. So everyone said, oh, Fergus. I'm like, he's like, you know, little guy. But it made it very complicated, it made it very hard. The mother thing doesn't make sense to me, but Ruth was incredible, so everybody else has a mother, why don't I? You know? So we sort of got through that stuff. And I think she was brilliant, I think she was really good at it. If she had been my love interest, or my ex-wife, it would have been incredible. It would have been so dangerous, but it didn't serve the mothers and sons concept that they were doing. So there I am. I'm not sparking out. I'm a rat. So Lucifer knows I'm not dead. So we had to sort of ignore it. And they write this script, and the script is, I don't know, it just wasn't great. The end of Crowley was some speeches, and I don't think it was great. So with every bit of respect, and my wonderful wife, who you'll see on Sunday, she's like, be careful what you write. And I was very, very careful. I said, thank you. I said, thank you for everything you've given me. I really appreciate it. My life is a wonderful place as a result of doing this show. But why don't you leave me dead in 21? Just put sparks on it, and I'm dead. Screw the rat, just have me die. And it would be a shock. It would be a great shock. It would actually have worked better than a lot of other things. But, and I sent him this honest letter, and I said, look, I don't think Crowley cares about the stuff that you're saying. I think this is what Crowley cares about, and I explained. He's bored, he hates running hell, he doesn't give a damn about this stuff. It's just, it's nauseating. Human condition, he's struggling with this and that, and he just doesn't want to do it anymore. And he wrote back to me that night and said, that was just a placeholder. And I'm like, okay. And the next day I got a script with everything I asked for. So to Andrew, fair play to him. So when I went to kill Crowley, it made sense. I had all these speeches, had all this stuff, winning, losing, all the complex things about even when I lose, I win, which I wrote. And then when we came to shoot it, something sort of happened, and they made places where they could get rid of the things that weren't theirs, that were mine, that weren't theirs. And I saw it in post-production, I went, okay, it's good enough. So I was done, I was happy to be done. I was so happy my friends were continuing. I was glad the story was changing and could continue. But, you know, it's like, thank you, that's it. So, you know, I mean, the crew was like, oh, they won't kill you off, Crowley's so popular. I'm like, I'm done. I know I'm done. And so I went on tour with Robin Hitchcock for a year or so, which was a lot of fun. And then Jeremy Carver, who used to be a showrunner of Supernatural, calls me and said, would you like to play Willoughby Kipling? And I said, you're doing Doom Patrol? And he said, yes. I said, which Doom Patrol are you doing, 60s or 80s? He said, 80s, but without Grant. And I went, I'm in. And that was the fun for me. So in my life, it was an interesting change. For the character, I don't know. That's up to you whether you liked it or not up to me. But I think I did it right. I think I did the best I could do. He sacrificed himself properly.
Right. In all the line of characters were constantly resurrecting and like you don't believe in their death, this was like, okay, wow.
Well, unfortunately, one of the producers said, never say never. And I went, please don't tell people I'm coming back when you have no plans to bring me back. And I think in a lot of ways, without COVID, they might have asked, but they never asked. So, you know, I did what I did. I'm really proud of what I did. I was talking about this with somebody recently, very important, right? So when you watched it the first time it came, or you watched it every week, or you waited 3 months for the season to start, or you waited after mid-season for the second half of the season to start, that was 15 years of your life. Now you binge it, that's what, 4.5 weeks? You know, some people have done it in 4.5 weeks. So if you've only ever watched it in binge, yeah, I'm that guy that happens to be in a lot of the middle stuff. If you watched it when it came out and waited for it, I was in that show for nearly a decade. So it's a very different concept, you know? Up until my demise, there was only ever 4 people on the posters, and I was one of those 4 people. And it was a very interesting concept of those 4 of us. We all love the Winchesters. There's you know, the Angel, which you guys are soppy about. He's an idiot. He's an absolute, he is no smarter at the end of the show than he was at the beginning of the show. It's really sad. And then you've got Crowley, right? And you got Crowley, he's like, ooh, he's mean, ooh, he's so nasty, but he's really cute. And you take that, and the reason why you like us is because we love them, because we love the Winchesters. So you're living vicariously through us. You're living by proxy. And we love that, and that's the reason why it works. But what an amazing journey. I went to do 1 episode. You know, 10 years later, I'm married, got another kid. You know, it's crazy, you know? Life is good, it's beautiful. And I get you guys, that's the greatest thing of all. I get to travel to Rome, I get to travel all over the world, but I get to travel to Rome, I'm looking at history, real history. And I'm looking and I'm going, beautiful place, beautiful people. People travel to us, we travel to you, and you all hang out with each other, and it's all about love. Question?
Well, as an actor, through your work, you have been an inspiration to many people.
I doubt it.
I do not. So my question is, what inspires you in your life? And
What does what?
What inspires you?
What inspires me?
Yeah, where do you find it?
Oh, for God's sakes, I've got children. You know, I have children. I have, you know, I've been dead 15 times on a weekend. Like, it's very easy to be inspired. But can I tell you honestly? You have to understand something. It's like, you know, people debate the existence of God or what their place is in the universe, or I'm just looking to see who's here. You got no friends in the middle. People debate their existence. People think of, you know, their lives and and in this world right now, with what is going on in this world right now, you know, I was in a generation where we worried about the Cold War, we worried about what would happen, and we always had this thought that something bad could happen and the whole world could end. And I thought my kids would grow up never having that feeling. And now we have a very different world again. And then you add to that social media, social pressures, bullshit, 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 bullshit. Nobody's talking to anybody, everybody's angry, everybody's made to be angry, everybody's finding a scapegoat, everybody's talking about immigration like it's 1932. You know, it's like everybody's talking about this, oh, they did this is the problem, this is the problem, which separates us. And then you do a little show like Supernatural, or you do a little show like The X-Files, or you do a little show like Firefly, or you do a little show like Doctor Who, or you do a little show like Battlestar, or you do a little show, and the people come together around that. And in a world where you don't want to leave your house, unless you have to, right? People come together, people see each other, people treat each other differently here than they do in a lot of places. This is a safe space, not because we say so, because it is. I don't care. I don't care who you pray to, who you love, what your religion is, what your politics. I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn about any of that. I care how you're doing. If you're struggling, I care. I'm just built that way. And in this room, this is the best place in the world to have a panic attack. This is the best place in the world to have a heart attack. Actually, I don't go to hospital, but you understand what I'm saying? You're not alone. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. You know, there are so many mental health disorders, some of which are manufactured by human condition, some of which are other issues, right? You know, I'm sober 36 years. My life is different than it was 36 years ago. But I have absolute proof of a power greater than myself. Simple. I don't know what it is, I'm not sure I put a label on it, I don't put beards on it and have it. They don't look like Rob. Much as I love Rob. I have proof, and you know what the proof is? The actions taken in loving service towards other human beings. When I see human beings treating other human beings as human beings, I know something is more powerful in the world than any trouble I may ever have. So inspiration is looking at the people around me and seeing them care for other people. Not for personal profit, not for personal gain, not for personal edification, not for sex, power, love, money, whatever those things is. Just actually purely for, yeah, truly honest love. It's a great place to be. Ooh, heavy. What's your question?
Hi, huge fan, came here from Ukraine with my sister who asked the question before me.
Are your family safe?
Yeah.
Well, my heart is with you and with them.
Thank you so much.
It's been a very long 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do with that as you will. This world is, you know, my son said something really simple to me, 25 years old. He goes, doesn't that man ever get up and look out of the window and say, I have all this, what else do I need?
Mm-hmm.
It's what it takes, right? But remember, you are the future and you are the possibilities, and you can't beat spirit.
That's true.
You can beat bodies, you can beat buildings, you can beat all sorts of things, but you cannot beat spirit. And as long as there is love, and as long as there is spirit, life can be terrible, but good will prevail. That's what Supernatural's about, if you really think about it. It's what it is, that's what brings us together. So sorry to make an observation about something I'm not a participant in, but I'm very much a supporter
I
of.
really appreciate the support. So my question was, I wrote the Supernatural, you know, and I rewatched it multiple times as I got older. And my perspective on Crowley and all different characters has always been changing, to be fair. So my question would be, what was your...
Good guy.
What was your favorite episode out from...
End of season 8, Sacrifice. So when Robert Rich was doing the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I did one earlier on. I keep forgetting that. I said, oh, there was an episode. Yeah, that's this episode. So we talking about it. I go, yeah, there's one where we did. He said, no, this is the same episode. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't remember it was together. But To me, sacrifice is the most, I talked about it in the podcast, I don't know if I got deeply into it, but that was when, even Jensen said to me, he goes, do you remember when it came together for the four of us? And it was when we did Nerd HQ with Zachary Levi and the four, and they're making fun of my accent, it's the famous one we did that. That's when we were, where we knew who we were, we knew what we were doing, we knew our support, we knew the support we had, and we loved every minute of it. And Sacrifice is the episode where, which Jared says is some of the best stuff he ever did. And I think he was incredible in it. But our crew, through that entire, I think it was 3 days, it might have been 2 days, it might have been 3 days, I don't remember. But through that entire Human Blood scenario, they were silent. They're not supposed to be silent, they have stuff to do, but it was like this. It was like literally being in a room like this. We're working, and they're just, you're working. Take us home, make it work. Because they all knew how, where we were. They knew what we had got to, the mountain we had climbed, you know? So Jeremy came back for season 8. So we, 6 was a turnaround, some great episodes at 6. 7 was Leviathans, I can see you. I can see you too, you nearly snuck in, only a little, but I can see you. But Leviathans, which would, in my opinion, would have been a great season 12, but it was difficult in season 7, but I think she did an amazing job steering that ship away. And then Jeremy comes back and goes, angels, demons, it's simple. And then we got that incredible season 8, which reset the show. I think even more than 6 did. And I think it was genius. I remember Mark Meloche, who was the visual effects supervisor, who never said no to anything. Can you do, yeah, we can do that. He came downstairs with like an iPad, a complex iPad. And he goes, you want to see this, guys? And it was the angels falling from the sky. And it was wireframe, not full animation. And we got chills, all of us gathering around this iPad to look and see what was coming. And it was, everybody was together, everybody worked to make that episode, to take us. There was no question we were going to go to a season 9, you know what I mean? It's like, they cancel us, there it is. We knew what we were doing. So that's what I'm proudest of, because it was crazy to do. I sat in a chair for 3 days. I didn't even get up. I used to stay chained to the chair most of the time. I don't know, it just made sense, It just made sense. But you could feel the support of every person that worked with us. Everybody was working for the same thing. And that's the love that we do. We travel to conventions because we make television with 100 of our friends or 150 of our friends. But we come to conventions because we don't see our audience. We make television and see, I do live theater or I do live music. I have an audience, ooh, ah, yeah, Come to conventions so we can have ooh, ah, hey. And what's your favorite episode? What's it like working with Misha? What's it like? My favorite one ever, right? So a girl comes up, it's a really sweet girl, comes up and says, hi. She's really nervous. And she was wearing a trench coat, right? Idiot in a trench coat. Baby in a trench coat, sorry. So she goes, cheap costume, that's the only reason. If they all had to dress like Crowley, they'd be poor. So, as you'll see if you bought a Crowley picture, I have the original costume with me, it's mine. It kept in its own carry-on bag so nobody could steal it. Daniela is looking after it. I think she has security guards with guns around her. But where was I at? Oh yeah, so this girl asked, she was so sweet, she was so nervous, and she goes, hi, I really like your character. I really like your character, and it's really, I'm a big fan of Crowley, and what's it like working with Jensen and Jared? I went, what the hell's wrong with you? She said, oh my God, I was like, nobody ever comes and asks them what it's like working with me. And so I saw a video, and she was standing at Jensen and Jared panel. I really like your characters. you're like 70, you're like my favorite. What's it like working with Mark Sheppard? And the worst part is, in 1 second, they looked at each other and went, short. So, no respect. No respect at all. So, we are so grateful for you guys. You have no idea. I mean, it's like, you do shows and you hope that people like it. We have proof. We have proof. It brings people together. It makes the world a slightly less nasty place, right? We have things happen to us, right? And we survive the things, you know. When I was a kid, I was like, if I died, I wonder who'd come to my funeral. Well, I died and I found out. But I didn't have to stay dead, which is the best part. But, you know, I was getting texts from people I thought didn't like me. But you can find out some amazing things in this area. It's amazing, isn't it? Life's a good thing. Now I just answered the question from 2 questions ago, but that's good. What do you need?
I'm Laura from Italy. I was.
Oh, you didn't come far.
Yeah, no, Rome. Actually, Rome.
Whoa,
like 30 minutes by car.
So impressive. What do you want?
I was wondering if you have maybe a funny story from the set.
No.
No. But thank God it was not a long trip, so.
I will leave that one where it should be left.
Hi, Mark.
Yes, follow that.
It's nice to meet you again, actually. And my question was, actually, if you could use and be Crowley during the day, which... How many times would you kill people? Come on.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Say it, come on.
No. You didn't think this question through. No. You're just taking up space, but I'll tell you something. I have a phrase for people that ask questions like this, right? Whether it's ducks and horses or whatever stupid questions there are. Write your own fan fiction. I love you. Okay, thank you for being brave and getting up. But I'm not answering that. I killed less people than the Winchesters. Next.
Hello.
You are so on your own right now in the spotlight. It's funny.
Sorry.
That's okay, darling. If that made you nervous, this will make it worse. What do you want to know?
I'm Sala from Helsinki, Finland.
Been there?
Yes. Hello.
Absolutely.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So this is my second trip and my first ever question in a convention.
Ooh. Am I going to be nice or am I going to be difficult? Never! Try.
Alright. As you may know, us Finns and the British as well like to drink. So, and you may know something about that drinking part also. So my question related to that is, do you have any advice for a person whose father is an alcoholic?
That is a very serious question in the middle of hilarity. You know I'm sober. So I'm sober 36 years. And the best don't applaud the fact that I'm not pissing in my pants right now, but I'm serious. It's like, when I had my heart attacks, this is the point of this, when I had my heart attacks, I had no trauma from dying. I only had trauma from seeing my family see me die and not be able to say, it's okay, I got this. So I understand. I looked at my wife who gave up. You can't see somebody die 8 times and go, How's 9 going to be? You know, it's the worst thing in the world to do, and I could not stop it from happening, and I could not change it. That's not much different than alcoholism, I'm saying. But the damage that we do for those we leave behind is terrifying. I promise you, you are not alone. There are millions of people all over the world who live with alcoholics, and they form groups together, Al-Anon, all sorts of things. That is the safe space, because you can't make me stop drinking, ever. I wish I could have done. I wish I could have done things differently, but I wouldn't be here if I hadn't had the journey I had. And I hope and I pray for your father that he finds a solution that is better. Maybe understand he's not doing it on purpose, as I've said about many things, that given sufficient reason, I still didn't stop. Given every reason, given love, given care, given all of these things, I still didn't stop. It needed a complete psychic change for me to believe that it was possible to stop. So I looked at people who had what I didn't have. They had peace, but this is his medicine. This was my medicine too. So I understand. But the damage that we do to our families is not deliberate. Unfortunately, it's not personal. If he could do anything else, I'm sure he would. But if you see people going through the same things, if you can see people, I know this exists, especially in Finland, there's great AA in Finland. So Al-Anon exists as well. It's for people without a disease. It's the damage we do to you. So know you're not alone. And that will help you find your way through. And I hope and I pray he finds a solution that doesn't kill him and gives him. I've seen people in the worst cases of life, as sick as human beings can be, live full, sober, productive lives. It is possible. And I pray for you, or whatever version works for you and for him, that he finds a solution that is better. But if it's also for anybody else. If you know this to be true in yours, please just put your hand out and ask for help, because you're entitled to as much help as he is. You know? I love you loads, baby. Come here. That's a hell of a question. But it's a brilliant question. That's the best question you can ask.
That's my first question.
Oh, you have another one?
No.
But we can't make anybody change. It's the hardest thing to accept. Love doesn't stop it. Love doesn't never stop me. I wish it had, but it's heartbreak to know you want to stop and can't stop is the worst feeling in the world. And I've done that to my family, and I've done it with heart attacks. It is shameful, and it is embarrassing, and it is torment. And it's lies, and up is down, and down is up, and right is wrong, and wrong is right. But there are people in the same position as you who are surviving every day, and talk to them. Those are the people that are like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Because I can't do that. I can do this, but I can't do that. So find your tribe, right? That's the way to do it. Right. Où en France?
Sorry?
Où en France?
Strasbourg.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Been there many times.
Really?
I was in a band that was huge in France, so I spent many, many years in France. Go ahead. Speak into the microphone so they can hear you.
Okay, I'll try. I was wondering if anybody, real or fictive, inspired you to play Crowley, and where those other sass came from.
Sass? 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 That's what you reduced Crowley to? Sass? Good God, girl. What inspired me to play Crowley? The money. The money, the fame, the conversations, the love. Kim Manners died. He was a friend of mine. I'd never done Supernatural. He was always talking about the boys. He was talking about stuff when I see him in Canada. And I was with his brother, and his brother said that he was passing, and he passed. And right after he passed, Supernatural came up. And I was like, okay. And that was mine. And I was like, man, maybe the universe is a very interesting place to be. Kim Manners was early showrunner for the boys. He was an amazing guy. Yeah, I tend, when I don't fight it, it comes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And Crowley is what if? What if? What if you had all this power and yet you still weren't happy? What if you had all this power but you couldn't get everybody? If they would just do what you told them to do, life would be so simple. But they don't listen. That's Crowley. Last sane man in the universe.
Hi.
Not at the moment.
Okay. So you give the best life advice, marriage
No, I
advice?
don't.
You do? Yes, you do.
90% of it is don't do what I did or you'll get what I got.
You've given Marcel and me amazing advice, and you know that.
No, it's not. I'm just a human being trying to get through life without hitting the walls too hard. You know, that's all it is, and everybody deserves. I can't tell you something you don't already know. You know what I mean? It's a spiritual impossibility to conceive of a problem unless you already have the answer. And hopefully in life I'm somebody that just reminds you, hey, you have the answer. Do it.
Right. Things
That's
like
all.
familiarity, I can breed contempt, which was awesome. Yep. But actually my question, thank you for all that and all everything. But drums. So are we going to see you playing drums this weekend and this year? Are you going to be playing?
I don't know, if Jason invites me, there might be a cajon on stages, and I don't know if I don't know if there's a drum kit. I doubt if there's a drum kit. It's not a stage for a drum kit. But we just played in London. Tricky MC played in Birmingham with Steph Fury, and we played in London at Lower Third. Played the bigger room in the Lower Third. It was so wonderful to see people came. Some people here that were there, and some that didn't. I hate you that didn't come. But I love it. It makes me happy. I mean, to get to play Rob Rich, Kristen Kane, obviously Billy, myself, and Mandy, and Paul Corella. It's a joy to do. And any opportunity we can get to do that, we will get to do that. So stay tuned. If any of the promoters ask us to play, I'm sure we'll put that together at some point. So I appreciate it.
Right. It
Thank
was
you.
wonderful at New York City last year.
Yeah, we did a good show in New York. It was fun. Next door to Katz. Next door to Katz Deli. Good place to be. To wait too long for a sandwich, though, it's kind of weird.
Oh.
I know. But thank you, my darling. What do you want?
I'm not going to ask you a question because
Okay.
last time
Okay, but
last time you turned it on me and it wasn't fun. So
What? What happened? What went wrong?
nothing.
Okay, what was
I promise you. But I was just here to break all the wonderful stuff that's been said and to say that you actually inspire a lot more than you think. You actually you actually pull me out of the very dark place.
Now, I'm going to tell you something, and this is important. Okay, stop. It's important. Very important. You did it. You did the work. No, listen. I understand. Trust me. You did it and you did the work. So the day that you wake up and you say, I can't do this, it's a lie. You can. It's going to be difficult if you have to do it again, but you can do it. We are happy to help. Yes, we help, but we didn't do it. We're part of something that's a lot bigger. But look at here. How many people here have mental health disorders? How many people haven't been diagnosed yet? So depression, anxiety, the world, everything. Just getting up in the morning is difficult, right? But any day that you think you can't do it, you're lying. Because you're here, and you just talked about it. Who the fuck talks about it? It's brilliant. You're already winning. You're already winning. And there is no safer place to be than amongst this bunch of scoundrels reprobates, scum. Just think of it. Pick me a word. No, next to you. The one I know. Give me a word. Scum. What are you? Reprobates is good. There you go. You're amongst friends. That's the point. What's your question?
I just wanted to show you this, what this do. These are Kipling and Crowley. They are.
Oh, I love it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're good. The fact that you can talk about it is 9/10 of it, right? We kill ourselves because we don't talk. That's the scary thing. But you know, I love this. We're getting a bit heavy now. I hope you have a funny question.
Hi.
Good luck.
You already told us which episode was your favorite. So, which episode was the least favorite?
My least favorite episode? Any of the ones I wasn't in. Soon? Okay, better ask a good question over there.
Hi, I'm Nina from Austria. And Crowley has a very interesting development. Like early season Crowley is very different from late season Crowley.
Yeah, he's younger.
What would like final episode Crowley think of first episode Crowley and vice versa?
Well, it's really easy. That's a good question. Actually, it's strangely a very good question. God damn, what's happening here? So, you would go, what an idiot. You thought it was all going to go well? You thought you weren't going to end up bored and depressed by the whole thing? Look, the bottom line is it doesn't matter what I think. Truthfully, it matters what you think. It matters what you feel, and it matters what you think. I'm grateful, so grateful to have been part of something that has this effect on people, that brings people together. I'm grateful that I tour the world with a group of people who I truly, truly love, who are good people and care. This is not a cynical thing. This is a love thing. It's corny, but it's a love thing. And we're so proud and so amazed that this little show that could has turned into something that pulls people together and makes things happen. I absolutely hate Castiel. Misha, that's a different story. Alright? I mean, that's a man who builds hospitals and schools and rescues people from foreign countries. And he makes people dress up and do weird shit in gish ways. And he always involved me and never told me what it was, which made me even angrier. But the thing is, what a magical thing to do. You go to work, you don't know if anything's going to happen, this thing that you do, and then you come and you see this. I mean, Daniela has put together a wonderful platform and a scenario for us to join together and have a great time. I will always be grateful for her. The people that she picks to work with her, these are, this isn't, as I was saying earlier, this is not the sum of your capabilities, but this is also your joy. You bring joy to it as well, and I appreciate that. We are looked after so well here, we're cared for so well here, that we love to come here. You guys are very, very special to me, very, very special to me. And just remember one thing, if you're struggling, put your damn hand out and say, help me, because it changes everything, it really does. And it's not embarrassing, and maybe for a second it's embarrassing, but maybe you'll get something. Maybe you'll make a friend out of it. If you're new here, you haven't been to many conventions, it sounds a bit heavy, but you'll be embraced, taken care of, and loved. My life is different because of this show. My life is different because of these conventions and this situation. I thank you for it. It's the most incredible gift. I love you all, and I'll see you more over the weekend.